Hello everyone, welcome back. Hope you're doing good. Hope you must have seen our last video. This session is completely of revision. So far we have seen a lot of chapters related to Tally Prime. So this is just a around 2 hour session. Okay. So here I'll be explaining you in short whatever we have seen so far about the Tally Prime. Okay. So the first topic we are going to see is the introduction on Tally Prime. So let's start with this now. So you need to download the Tally Prime first. Just go to Google Chrome and type here download Tally Prime, and you'll be having the first one, that is tallysolutions.com. Okay, so just click on this. So directly you will be finding the download option of Tally Prime. Okay, so this is the latest version, so click on download. So your setup file will be downloaded here. Here you can see. Okay, just right click over it, show in folder. So after downloading your setup file, everything will be coming over here. Okay, so you can see here. So just double click over it. Okay, you'll be asked, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? You have to give yes. Once I given yes, you'll be getting this short dialog box, Tally Prime Setup Manager. Okay, here you have an option for install new. Okay, so you have to select the type of. So here I have already downloaded Tally Prime and also Tally ERP9. So I can just select it and upgrade the Tally Prime. Or if you are this is the first time you are downloading Tally Prime, means you can click on install new and select the install option. So you'll be installed in your computer. Okay, so the Tally Prime gets installed. So this is the procedure you will be following for downloading of Tally Prime. Once you have downloaded, you'll be finding an icon of Tally Prime in your desktop. Just double click over that and you'll be getting this screen. Okay, so the first option you'll be doing is creation of company. So just I'm creating the company here. So here you'll be finding many options. So these are the companies I have already created. Okay, so first option you're having to create a company, and there are many options. I'll just explain you now. So before going to creation of company, let me explain you what are the options available over here. Okay, so this is the Tally Prime education. Okay, so I'm in education mode. I'm not using a licensed mode. This is an education mode. So here you have an option for company. Okay, Alt K is the shortcut keys. Alt K is the shortcut key for company. So shortcut keys will be a little different compared to Tally ERP9. So the shortcut key for going to company is Alt K. You can click on Alt K or directly click on company. You have an option for create company, alter company, change, then select company, shut company. Okay, and here you have an option for online access related to connect, remote access, browser access. Then under configuration you have F11 configuration over here. Then security, Tally Vault. Okay, all it's related to security control and access. Then you have a data configuration related to backup, restore, split. Okay, and then you have exchange related to e-waybill. Okay, then coming over here you have an option for import, export, email, print and F1 help. Okay, so the letter highlight, which is the shortcut key for the concern topic. Okay, sorry, concern icon. So for example, if you want to import, means you can just give Alt plus O for importing, or you can directly click over here. And the major thing, that is the major difference compared to Tally ERP9, is the go to option here. Okay, So the thing that in Tally Prime, Tally ERP9, we don't have this go to option. So this is the major advantage in Tally Prime. So if you click on go to option, you can directly view any report from the very first screen. Okay. So usually what you will be doing, you will be going to display more reports and you will be finding all the reports over here. Okay. But here there is a go to option. It's very advantages for the users of Tally Prime. So from here itself you can view all the reports available. Okay, see here all the reports are available over here. You can directly view the reports from the very first home screen. Okay, so and then here you have, this is the gateway of Tally. The home page of the Tally Prime is known as the gateway of Tally, and here you will be having the current period, April 2021 to 31st March 2022, current financial year and the current date. And here you will be finding all the list of companies you have opened on Tally Prime. Then date of last entry. I haven't entered any date here. So this is the date of last entry is coming as no vouchers entered. Okay. So this is the gateway of Tally coming to the right side. So from here only you will be starting your work. Okay. So you'll be creating the masters. And so first option is creation of masters, alteration and chart of accounts. Next comes the transactions where you'll be posting all your voucher entries and related to banking activities and all you'll be doing under banking. And finally you'll be coming to reports. So these four are the major reports, and display more reports. In display more reports you'll be having more reports here. Okay, and this is the right button bar. You having the date option. So Alt F2 for changing the period, F2 for changing the date, or you can directly go and click on here. Okay, then for going to the company info panel, for creating a company and all, the shortcut key is Alt F3. If you give Alt F3, you can go to here and create a new company, or you can just click on the company here and go to create directly. Okay. So Alt F3 is for the selection of the company. So here you can see many shortcut keys are provided here. For selecting the company, Alt F3. For shutting the company is Control F3. Okay. And F3 for changing the company. If you have opened 2 or 3 companies, you can change the company by clicking F3. So these are the shortcut keys. So this is the right button bar. So this is the introduction on Tally Prime. Next topic we are going to see is the creation of company. So for creating a company, just click on company and click on create. Or you can go to Alt F3 and there also you are having a creation option. So here also you can go or give Alt F3 and here you have an option for creating a company. Just click on it. So the company creation screen appears. Okay. So the first one is the company data path. So this is the path where your company data will get stored. Okay. So here I have given C drive where I have already installed Tally software in that path. Okay. So whatever the path you have installed, the Tally software, same path will be coming over here by default. If you want to specify any other path as for your company data, you can click here, specify path, or you can directly select from the drive also. Okay. So next is the company name. So here I am giving the company name. Here you will be giving the address of the company. Okay. Then all the details of the company will be giving address, state, country, pin code, a telephone number, mobile, fax, email, website. Okay, so all the basic details of the company you will be filling over here. Then coming to financial year begin from, books begin from. Financial year begin from is the current financial year. As you all know, it begins from 1st and ends with 31st March of the next year. Next is the books beginning from. Books beginning from is the date where the transaction of your company begins. Okay. And next is the security. So this I will be explaining you afterwards. So next you will be giving the base currency symbols. So rupees, the formal name, suffix symbol to amount. So all this related to the currencies. Okay, so after creating the company, just give enter. So a company will get created and you will be finding this company created successfully. Okay, so this is the F11 features. So you'll be finding all the features related to accounting, inventory, taxation, online access, payroll and others. So in this you'll be having all the features related to the many topics, that is accounts, inventory, taxation, like that. So based on your business needs, what are the topics if you are needed? Okay, what are topics you are needed, you can enable and disable as per your wish. For example, in your company, if you are maintaining some godowns, means you can activate a feature and maintain the godowns also. Okay, if you are doing the inventory, means you can give inventory. See here, maintain inventory. So you can give yes and use the inventory features in Tally Prime. If you are a service oriented business you are doing and not related to inventory, means you can just give no to this and you can skip complete inventory part. Okay, so depends upon your company needs, you can specify your features. So all those features you are specifying in the F11 feature over here will not affect the other companies in the same path. Okay, so in the same path you will be maintaining many companies. If you are running more than 2-3 companies, you will be maintaining this in the same path. You will be creating a different company, right? So what are the features you are specifying in one company will never affect the other company's feature. Okay, so after filling all the details, so it is not mandatory to activate in this very first company creation process. You can also give Control A for saving the screen and you can start your work. So afterwards also you can just click F11 and you can use these features. You can enable and disable the F11 features as per your wish. Okay, so before that, make sure you have given yes for these two features, show more features and show all features, because if I give no here, so you'll be finding only limited options. Okay, so in order to view all the options, just give yes over here and also yes over here. If you give no also, only limited options will be available. So let these two options, that is show more features and show all features, let it be yes. Okay, and then just give enter and accept it. Okay, just accept this, or you can give Control A for saving the screen. So here I have created ABC Private Limited. So I am going to shut this A company. Just go to company and give shut company, or the shortcut key Control plus F3 for shutting the company. Okay, so again selecting a company, go to company and select company, that is Alt plus F3. So ABC Private Limited. So here I got it. Okay, I'm going to shut this A company. Yes. Okay, so here from here you can start doing the work now. So I'll be explaining you what are the masters, how to create the masters and all. Okay, so this is the basics of Tally Prime and the creation of the company. Next topic we are going to see is maintaining of chart of accounts. So chart of accounts, what do you mean by the chart of accounts? Chart of accounts is the list of accounts you are maintaining in your company. Okay, so here you have a chart of accounts in Gateway of Tally under Masters. You have a chart of accounts. Just click on it. So you'll be finding all the accounting masters and inventory masters. So far we haven't created any masters. So what are the masters which are predefined in Tally will be visual over now. So if you click on groups over here, so these are the groups. Here you can see the 28 groups. So these 28 groups are predefined groups. Okay, so major group, that is the predefined primary group, is branch and divisions, capital accounts, current assets, current liabilities, direct expenses, direct incomes, fixed assets, indirect expenses, indirect incomes. For selecting like this, choose the shortcut key space bar from your keyboard. And then you have investments, loans, liability, miscellaneous expenses, purchase, sales and suspense. So these are the predefined primary accounts. You can just click on branch and divisions. The group would have been created under primary. Okay. And if you click on, see here, under current assets, I have bank accounts. So these are the, whichever is not selected over here, are the predefined subgroup. So if I click on bank account, it is not under primary, it is under current assets. So these are the subgroups. Okay, so likewise, these 28 groups are the predefined primary groups and predefined subgroups. Combinedly, there are 28 groups. So apart from this, if you want to create some other group, means you can create it by using the create option over here in masters. So the chart of accounts shows what are the groups you are using in your company. And then ledgers. So if you click on ledgers, you can find two ledgers which are predefined, that is cash and profit loss account. So apart from this, you have to create all other ledgers which are useful for your business needs. Okay, so here you can see 28 groups and two ledgers. So these are the predefined groups and ledgers. Then voucher types is used to enter, record all your transactions. Okay, so there are totally 24 voucher types in Tally Prime. Then currencies, one currencies which we have already created, the rupees, while you are creating the company. Then apart from this, you have budgets and scenarios. Then related to inventory masters, you have stock groups, stock items, stock categories. So we haven't created any masters. There is no predefined also related to inventory except the godowns. In godown, you have only one predefined, that is main location. Okay, so we have to create all those masters. So I'm going to create here. So I'm going to create a masters. For creating a masters, you can click on create under masters. So whatever you are creating here, it will be added in your chart of accounts. Okay. So if you want to have a complete view of what the company is, means you can just view the chart of accounts. Through the chart of accounts, you can easily find out what the company actually does. Okay, so it shows all your data, it shows all your creditors, it shows what are the fixed assets you have. Okay, so all those will be completely viewed in a single sheet of chart of accounts. So that is the chart of accounts. So now I'll be explaining you how to create the masters. Just click on create under masters. Okay, so now you are going to create a group ledgers. Okay, so group. So we have already predefined groups. I have already shown you in the chart of accounts. We have many predefined groups, 28 groups. So apart from this, if you want to create some other predefined group, means some other new group, means you can create it by clicking on create group. Okay, you'll be grouping under the concerned groups. So if you are going to create a new subgroup, means so you can give the major group over here. If you are creating under primary, means you can select primary, and you have to select this option to yes, groups behaves like a subledger, and accept it. So this is the creation of group. Then creation of ledger. So if I want to create a rent ledger, means I'll be giving rent. So rent is a expenses for the company, so indirect expenses. Okay, so if you have an opening balance in the previous closing balance in the previous year, will come as an opening balance in the current year. So this is how you'll be creating a ledger. Next is creation of currencies. We have already seen we have created a currency of rupees in the company creation screen. So apart from this, if you want to create a new currency, for example, in your company, if you are dealing with foreign transactions, means you'll be recording all those transactions in the dollars or in whatever maybe, apart from the base currencies. Okay, so in that situations, you can create new and create a new currency. Okay, so you can give the symbol over here and format name. For example, I am creating the dollar symbol. Okay, shortcut key for dollar is shift +4. Shortcut key for the base currency symbol is control +4. That is rupees, control +4. For dollar it is shift +4. Okay, so here you can give dollar, and all those details you can fill related to the currency and give S. Okay, so this is how you will be creating the currencies. So next is voucher types. You have already seen all the voucher types over here in the chart of accounts. So apart from this, if you want to create any voucher types, you can create it. So basic is the groups and ledgers related to accounting masters. Coming to the inventory masters, you will be creating stock groups. Okay, so go to create, click on stock group under inventory. Okay, for example, if I want to create the combined computer accessories, so if I'm dealing with the selling and purchasing and selling of monitors, keyboard, mouses, means all those are computer accessories. Okay, so those stock items having the similar nature, I can group it in one group. So I am creating a computer accessories group over here. Let it be under primary. And should quantities of items be added? Yes. So you have to give this option to yes. Then only whatever the stock items you are creating under the group computer accessories will be appearing in the stock summary report. Okay. So here we have created the stock group. Then stock category. For example, if you are buying and selling monitors, the monitors you can categorize into the brand name, like Samsung monitors, LG monitors, like that. Okay. So you can categorize into the inches of the monitors, like 55 inches, 32 inches. Okay. So likewise also you can categorize. So it's all depends of your business needs only. So based on your brand name also you can create the categories. Next is stock items. So before that we can create unit. So unit, how you measure your stock items, measure in numbers or kgs, liters. Okay. So here the computer accessories will be measuring in numbers. So symbol is NOS and formal name is numbers. So unit quantity code. So you can give numbers over here or units. So what are the units? Okay. Or numbers. So you have to link with the unit quantity code. So decimal place, if you are doing in kgs, means you will be having a decimal place of two places. So in numbers there is no decimal, so let it be 0 and give S. So we have created the unit. So go down. So already there is a predefined godown known as main location. So apart from this godown, if you are having any godown, means you can create it new, or you can give, instead of a main location also you can alter the existing main location. Okay. So here I am creating a new location, godown 1 under primary. Okay. So now we can go and see the chart of accounts. So we have almost covered the basics of accounting masters and inventory masters. Okay. Group, ledger, currency, then stock group, stock category, stock item, unit and godown. So here we can move on to chart of accounts, and if you click on groups, all those groups we have created are displayed here. Okay. And ledgers, you can see all the ledgers. See, we have created a new ledger known as rent. It appears over here under indirect expenses. Okay. Then see currency, we have two currencies we have created. Next, coming to the inventory master, stock groups, stock items. Stock items, we'll give enter. Stock items we haven't created, so let us create now. We'll go to create stock item. So for example, keyboard. So under the group computer accessories, then category, Samsung, units, numbers. Okay, so before creating the stock item, better create all the thing like stock groups, units, godown, so it will be easy for you for selecting. For example, you haven't created the group over here, means you can also give Alt C, keeping your icon in group, you can give Alt C for creating. You need not go to back screen and you can create option again and go to inventory masters and group creation. So you can just directly from stock item creation itself, you can directly create the group also, or in this also you have a create option directly. You can click over here and create the concerned group. Okay. For example, category also, you have to keep the icon in the specified place. Okay. For example, in units, I'm going to create a new unit, means I can just create here. I can have to click the icon over here and give Alt C, or I can click on directly create over here. Okay. Then, so just give enter. And here you will be giving the quantity. Okay, so those quantity, that is the opening balance quantity on 1st April. Okay, for example, here I am having 300 numbers. So you will be asked to enter the godown. So in which godown you have how much quantity. For example, in godown 1 I have 300. So the rate and the amount. Okay. So here we have done with the stock item. You can also view the stock item in chart of accounts. Go to stock item. And here you can view the keyboard. So whatever the stock items you are creating, everything will be displayed in the chart of accounts. Okay. So we have seen create option and chart of accounts. Next is alteration. So you have created, if you want to alter any masters, you can click on alter and you can alter it. Okay, you can alter it and just save this. For saving, Control plus A. So this is all about masters, creation, alteration and chart of accounts. Next topic we are going to see is recording and maintaining accounting transactions. So far we have created the required masters. So we are going to record our transactions. So for recording our transaction, under transaction you have an option for vouchers. So this is where you will be recording all your transactions. Okay, just click on vouchers. So you have a contra, payment, receipt, journal, sales, purchase and other vouchers. If you click on other vouchers and you have an option show inactive. So just double click over it. So next you will be having hide inactive. Just double click again. Okay, sorry. Just give show inactive over here, so you can find all the inactivated voucher also. So in accounting voucher you have contra, credit note, debit note, journal, memorandum, payment, purchase. Okay, in inventory voucher you have many. So make sure you give show inactive so that all the vouchers whichever is available you can view it over here. So these are the shortcut keys they have mentioned. Contra, it is F4. Credit note Alt F6, debit note Alt F5, journal F7, payment F5, purchase F9. Okay, so you can find all the shortcut keys here. So first voucher we are going to discuss is contra. So contra voucher, the shortcut key is F4. So all those transactions related to bank and cash transactions will be entered in contra. For example, cash. So those transactions related to cash and bank means if you are depositing cash into the bank, if you are withdrawing cash from the bank, or if you are transferring from one cash account to another petty cash account, okay, or from one bank account. If you in a company, if you are following, if you are maintaining 2 or 3 bank accounts, means from one bank account, if you transfer to another bank account, you have to enter all these 4 possible transactions in contra voucher. Okay, so I'll just give you one example of depositing cash into the bank. So let us have the opening balance of cash. Just give alter. For altering, you need not go to masters and alter. From here itself, you can alter the required ledgers. Okay, just give control enter for alteration. If you want to create it, means alt C. If you want to alter the existing ledger, means give control enter, and you can give the opening balance here. Okay, I am going to deposit this cash into my SBI account. Okay, so for example 3000. I am going to create a SBI account. So for creation, you can create over here. Just create or alt C. SBI bank account under bank accounts and save this. Okay. So denominations you can enter and give the narration over here and give X enter. Accept it. Okay, for changing the date you can give F2. So here you can find the name of the voucher and voucher numbering. So if you want to change the numbering also, the option is available in the voucher types. You can change the number. I'll be saying about this in some time. So this is the contra vouchers. Okay. So apart from this, you have F12 configuration. So like F11 features, you have F12 configurations. You can enable and disable the required features. So if I click on F12 configuration, so I have opened contra voucher here. So all this contra configurations is related to contra vouchers. Okay. So next is payment vouchers. So shortcut key for payment is F5. Same shortcut keys F2 for changing the date, F12 configuration for payment configuration. Okay. So everything is same only. For example, payment. So payment means the payment can be expenses payment or a party payment, and the payment can be through bank or cash. Okay. Those transactions you have to enter it in payment voucher. For example, I am going to pay a rent of 2000. Credit cash. Okay. So the debit should be always any expenses or a party, and the credit should be cash or bank. Here you will be giving the narration and accept it. So this is the payment. Next comes the receipt. If you are receiving the amount through cash or bank, and the receipt can be an income receipt or a party receipt. Party receipt in the sense you would have made some sales and against the sales you are receiving. Okay, party payment also if you have made a purchase and you are making a payment against the purchase. If your purchase on credit means you will be making a payment after the within the due date. Okay, so in such cases you will be making the payment. So those party payment will be coming in payment voucher, and this is party receipt. So if I am receiving any commission, okay, commission under indirect incomes. So credit the income 2000, then debit. If I am receiving through bank means I can debit the bank account. Okay, so this is the receipt. Next is journal. Shortcut key for journal is F7. So if you are in journal, you will be entering all the adjustment entries, ledger to ledger adjustment, party to party adjustment. Okay, all those adjustment entries you will be doing in journal. And also if you are purchasing any asset means you will be entering in journal. For example, I am creating a furniture. I am going to purchase a furniture. So furniture under fixed asset. Furniture cost is 20,000. Credit the party name. This furniture. Furniture zone. Okay. So we have purchased on credit. So sundry creditors. Okay. So we have purchased an asset. So for the asset, you will be charging depreciation at the year end. Okay, for charging depreciation also, you have to enter the transaction in the journal vouchers only. Okay, for example, depreciation. Depreciation is a kind of indirect expenses. Yes, you save. For example, 20,000, 2,000 depreciation per year. Okay, credit furniture. So you have to, so then the value of the furniture gets decreased now. Okay. So this transaction you have to pass it in the 31st of March of the every year. Okay. So this is the journal voucher. Next comes the sales. So sales, if you take all the cash sales and credit sales, you will be entering. For example, cash sales means you can give cash in the party name. If it is credit sales means you can give the party name over here. For example, I am selling to Mr. A. Customer. Sundry debtors. Okay. So sales ledger you have to create it. So here I am going to sell a keyboard. So from which godown you are going to sell? Godown 1. So in godown 1, what are the stock available also you can leave it over here. For example, I am going to sell 20 numbers of keyboard. Okay, the rate and the amount. Got it? So here you can view. So this bill based details I'll be teaching you in next chapter. So enter. So if it is cash sales means you can give cash in the party name. Okay. Next comes the purchase. Shortcut for purchase is F9. So all the cash purchases and the credit purchases you will be entering over here. Same only the party name. For example, Mr. P, supplier. So it's already exists. Under sundry creditors. Okay. And here you will be creating the purchase ledger. So just give Alt plus C for creating from the voucher screen. And the purchase accounts. Save this. I am going to purchase a keyboard for 1000 numbers again. And I am going to store it in the godown 1. Okay. So this is how you will be entering all the purchase details. Okay, that is the purchase voucher. So apart from this, you have other vouchers, that is credit note and debit note. So credit note, debit note is for the purchase return and sales return. Okay, you will be entering over there. So these are all the accounting vouchers. Next comes the inventory vouchers. So inventory vouchers, only the physical stock and stock journal will be activated. So you see delivery note, it's not activated. You have to double click over it and give yes for activating. So this is the delivery note. So all those transactions you'll be entering in the inventory vouchers will not affect your financial records. Those transactions you are recording in the accounting vouchers only will be having a financial effect in your books of accounts. Those you are entering in the inventory vouchers is only for the movement of stock. Okay, it will never affect your financial records. So first is delivery note. So for all the shortcut keys you can find it over here. For delivery note it is Alt F1. So once it has been activated, all the thing you can find it over here. For receipt note is Alt F9. The rejection in Control F6, rejection out Control F5, stock journal and Alt plus F7. So these are the shortcut keys. Okay. So delivery note. So what is delivery note? If you are delivering your goods to your customers without an invoice. Okay. So for example, the customer says that you deliver the goods now. So after I have checked and satisfied with the goods, you can raise an invoice. In such cases, you should not move the goods without any document. So for that purposes, you will be raising a delivery note. Okay, while you are delivering your goods to your customer without an invoice. So same procedure, party name to whom you are delivering. For example, customer A. Okay, and sales and what are the items you are delivering, you have to give over here. Next comes the receipt note. So receipt note means if you are receiving from your supplier, if you are receiving goods from your supplier without an invoice, that will be coming under the receipt note. Okay. So after receiving your goods, the supplier will be raising the invoices that you will be accounting in your purchase invoice in the accounting voucher. Next, again click on show inactive. So we have seen delivery note and receipt note. Next is rejection in and rejection out. So rejection in means you have delivered some goods and the customer is not satisfied and returning back the goods. So that will come in rejection in. Okay. And next is the rejection out. So you have received some of the goods from your supplier and you are not satisfied or the quality is low. So because of that you are returning back to your supplier. So that will come in rejection out. Okay. So once you have done with the delivery note, if you have got any rejection means rejection in voucher you have to enter. If you are received any goods and are entered in rejection in, after that you have returning the goods to your supplier means then it comes to rejection out. Then you have stock journal, shortcut key is Alt plus F7. Stock journal, shortcut key Alt plus F7. So if you are moving your stocks or goods from one place to another, that is from one godown to another or one branch to another branch means you can use stock journal. Okay. For example, in source means from where you are going to transfer. For example, keyboard, quantity of 20 numbers. So go down 1. Quantity of 20 numbers I am going to transfer to. So all the stocks will be the same, only the place will be the difference. So from go down 1 I am going to take to main location. Got it? So this is the way we can use the stock journal for transferring the goods from one place to another. And next comes the physical stock. Shortcut key for physical stock is Ctrl plus F7. So if there is any discrepancy or differences in the physical stock with the stocks in the book, you can adjust it over here using the physical stock voucher. So these are the inventory vouchers. Okay. So accounting vouchers and inventory vouchers we have seen. So this is how you are going to enter all those transactions in your books of accounts. So after you have entered all your transactions in the vouchers, in this voucher option, after you have entered all your transactions, you can find the transactions in the day book. Under transaction you have day book. Date wise you can view all the transactions. See here, all those transactions we have entered have come over here. So you'll be having a date, particulars, what ledger you have used, and the voucher types, voucher number, and the debit and credit amount. Okay. So apart from this voucher types, if you want to create any voucher means you can create it by using create option. For example, in voucher sales, in sales what you will be entering? All the cash sales and credit sales. Okay. So you can segregate cash sales in one voucher and credit sales in another vouchers. For that, go to create voucher types. Here you can enter cash sales. Select the type of voucher, sales. Then save this. Then credit sales under sales. Okay. So after creating it, just go to vouchers again and just click F8 for sales. You will be asked whether to enter in cash sales or credit sales. If I'm doing whenever I'm doing credit sales, I can click on credit sales and enter those transaction over here. Okay. So whenever I'm doing the cash sales, I can select cash sales. For selecting, again give the shortcut key for sales. You'll be asked over here. Okay. So once I selected the credit sales, I can see the name of the voucher also appears here as credit sales instead of sales. Okay. So these are creation of new voucher types. And apart from this, you have classes. For example, I'm going to create a class now. For creating class, go to alter payment voucher and directly come over here and you can create the cash class and bank class. So just like a single entry, you can enter the transaction. It's very time saving. Okay. So click on F5 and choose the class. So whenever the payment means the credit will be either cash or bank. So every time you need not select the cash, bank or not. If you're making the payment through bank means you can just directly select bank class and you can make the entry like a single entry mode. Okay. So it's very time saving process. So you can use this option. So if you're making a cash payment means just give F5 and click on cash class. Okay. So this is how you are going to use the classes in Tally Prime. So this is all about the vouchers. So next we are going to see the banking option. Next topic we are going to see is the accounts receivables and payables management. So if you are dealing with so many debtors and creditors, you have to know against which purchase you are making the payment or against which sales you are receiving the payment. So all that should be tracked with one invoice and payment. Okay. So for that purposes, you will be using the bill-wise details. So that's what I'm going to explain you now. So for maintaining the bill-wise details, you have to go to F11 feature, go to company and F11. And you have an option for bill-wise details over here under accounting, enable bill-wise details. Okay, so just give S over here and save this. Then you have to alter the concerned ledger. For example, customer A, and here you will be having an option maintain balance bill by bill. Okay, so here you have to give S and save this. So for example, now we have activated the bill-wise details. I am going to make a sales to customer A. So here sales ledger, I am going to sell keyboard of 1000 numbers. Okay. So here you will be getting the bill-wise details screen. So here there are references advance, against, new and on account. New reference you will be selecting when you are entering the transaction for the first time. Basically, you will be selecting the new references when you are accounting a sales or purchase. Okay. Next comes the against reference. Against reference you will be giving again if you are receiving the payment against the sales, or if you are making the payment against the purchases, means against reference. So basically against reference you will be giving in payment and receipt voucher. Then if you are receiving an advance, so for the sales you are going to make in next month, if you are receiving an advance means at that time you will be giving advance reference. So for time being, if you are not knowing against which bill you have to adjust, then you will be selecting on account fee adjustment. Okay, so these are the 4 adjustment in the bill-wise details: advance, against reference, new reference and on account. So this is new reference. Okay, so this is the first time I'm accounting this sale, so this is a new reference. So next is if I'm receiving the payment against the sale. Okay, So here I will be giving against reference and you will be getting all the pending bills over here. For example, I am receiving against 4,50,000, I am receiving only 4 lakh now. So 4 lakh debit bank. Okay. So balance it is, so for the concerned bill balance is 50,000. Okay. So for that you can see the reports, go to display more reports, statement of accounts, outstanding, receivables. So you can find the balance receivables as here. Okay. So these are the outstanding details. You can view all those outstanding details over here. So it will be easy for you from concerned party what are the pending account. Everything will be generated, automatically generated in the report. So these are the bills receivable. So likewise you can also do the payment. For example, F9. So purchase. For example, if you are making a purchase from Mr. C. So from to main location, I am going to store the now 2000. Okay. So here you will be getting the. So before that, here you didn't get any bill wise details box. So because you haven't given any activation, so you have to activate this. Maintain balance bill by bill and save this. For example, by default you will be making the payment only in 30 days, means here you can give default credit period as 30 days. Okay, and you have one more option, check for credit days during the voucher entries. For example, if you are not paid within 30 days, means if you are posting the next entry, you will be getting an alert if you give yes over here. Okay, and the special credit limit, for example 2 lakh. So if the credit limit exceeds 2 lakh also, you will be getting an alert message. So I'm purchasing here. So here I will be giving new reference. Okay. So before that, we have given 30 days of credit period. So it automatically takes 30 days here. Okay, 1st May 2021. So that is the due date also comes over here. So what are the days I have mentioned here, everything will be coming automatically. For example, you can also split the due days. For example, 4,50,000 I will be clearing in 30 days, means 4,50,000. Next 4,50,000 I will be clearing in 60 days, means 60 days. So all the due dates you can automatically find it over here. What is the actual due date in which before that you have to pay the amount. Okay. So like this you have to give the bill wise details. So next comes the advance. For example, I am receiving an advance from the customer, 5 lakh for the sales I am going to make in future. So here I will be giving advance. Okay. So for 1st April I have received an advance. So for 1st May I am going to make the sales. So customer name, sales, keyboard, end, and here you have to give against reference because against this bill you have already received an advance. So give against reference, you can find the advance amount also here. So you can adjust with the amount and give accept. Okay. So these are the receivables and payables management. Next topic we are going to see is banking. So in banking we are going to see bank reconciliation. So bank reconciliation is very important that each accountant should do on daily basis in a company. Okay. Bank reconciliation is the process of reconciling the balances in the bank statement received from your bank with the ledger balances you are maintaining in your accounting software. Okay, so in Tally books, you will be having one balances in each bank account. The statement which you receive from your own bank, you will be having the balances. Both balances has to be equal. You have to reconcile. So what is the need for this reconciliation? Means there will be many differences. Okay, so the causes of differences can be as you would have issued the check to the supplier, but the supplier would have not presented the check. So in such cases, there will be some mismatch in the balances between your books and also the bank statement. Okay, so for those purposes, you have to reconcile the bank regularly. So for bank reconciliation, I'll just show you how to do the reconciliation in Tally Prime. So to reconcile your bank statement, go to banking, and here is an option. Under statement, you have an option for bank reconciliation. Apart from this banking option, you have options for check printing, check register, post-dated summary, deposit slip, payment advice, and bank reconciliation. So first we can see bank reconciliation. Select the bank reconciliation and select the bank which you want to reconcile. Okay, so this is the bank reconciliation screen. So there are two ways you can reach the bank reconciliation screen. One is this way, that is from Gateway of Tally. Click on banking, click on bank reconciliation, select the bank, you will be reaching to bank reconciliation. Otherwise, you can directly go to the ledger books, that is display more reports, accounts book, ledger, bank account, and from here you have to click on Alt R. Alt R is the shortcut key for the bank reconciliation. Okay, so either of the way you can go. So here you will be finding all those transactions. So whatever the transaction you have entered with your bank accounts, all the transactions will be appearing over here. Okay, you can see the date, you can see the particulars, favoring name, voucher type, transaction type, instrument number, date, debit and credit. Extra one column, the bank date has been added over here. Okay, so this is the actual date the transaction has been debited or credited in the bank statement. So you have to give those dates. For example, in first transaction, you have made a payment through check to Mr. C on 1st May. So once you have given the check, you would have passed the entry in your books of accounts. But Mr. C would have presented the check only on 2nd May. So it got cleared on 2nd May. So actual date it shows in the bank statement is 2nd May. So bank date you have to give 2nd May. Like this, everything you have to reconcile it. Okay. After reconciliation, you can find both the balances will be equal. Click on reconcile, change the date. Okay, see here. Now the balances as per the company books is equal to balance as per the bank. Okay, once it you are reconciling, the transaction will be reconciled and goes out. Okay, so if you want to view the reconcile transaction also, if you want to view, means click on basis on values and include reconciliation transaction. So this has to be enabled. Okay, just double click over it and escape. So all the transactions whichever has been reconciled will be appearing over here. Okay, so this is how we are going to reconcile. So this reconciliation has to be done for all the banks you are maintaining in a company. Sometimes some of the company will be maintaining 2-3 bank accounts under the same name. Okay, so in such cases, all the bank account has to be regularly be reconciled. Okay, then for example, in some cases, if it is not related to check, it can be due to bank charges. Okay, for example, the bank would have been debited some amount as bank charges. You will be knowing only if you have received here. Yeah, you will be knowing only when you receive that bank statement. Okay, so after receiving the bank statement, you found that bank charges of rupees 500 has been debited. So in such cases, from this screen itself, you have to post the voucher entries and then you have to reconcile the same. Okay, for example, here is the shortcut. Alt J is the shortcut key for going to the voucher creation from the reconciliation screen. See here, bank charges 400. Okay, so here I have enter the bank charges entry, then the transaction will appear here. Then I can reconcile it. Got it? So this is the way you have to reconcile. If those entries are not available, you have not yet entered, means by seeing the bank statement you can enter. For example, bank charges. Okay, so this is how you are going to, you have to do the bank reconciliation. Okay. Next topic we are going to see is the payment advice under banking. So payment advice. So what is payment advice? So payment advice is the payment details which you will be giving along with your check. Okay. For example, you have purchased many goods from a supplier. Okay, and the pending bills are around 3 to 4 bills. The supplier won't be knowing against which bill you are clearing the check if you are producing a single check. Okay, so for that purposes you have to give the payment advice. So in payment advice you have an details regarding which bill you are making the payment. Okay, so for going to payment advice, so I'll tell you how to do it. So in Tally Prime, go to banking and then click on payment advice under statement. Okay, and select the party name. So these are the payment we have already entered, but we have not yet printed the payment advice. So just enter it or just select it. For selecting, I have to give space bar. Okay, then click on print and double click over it, Control P, go to preview. So this is the payment advice. Okay, so here you can see to whom you are making the payment, against which bill, what is the bill date, what is the amount, and the payment details related to check details is through which bank you are making the payment. Okay, so here you will be having the receiver sign, authorized signatory. So all the details have been come over here. So if you are producing a check to a supplier or to any party, so they won't be having any doubt against what is the payment against which bill. Okay, so because all the details will be coming over here in the payment advice. So once you're done with the payment voucher, you can take a printout and you can enclose the printout copy with the check you are giving. Okay, so this is the payment advice. Next topic we are going to see is the deposit slip under banking. So deposit slip. So if you are receiving many checks from your customer, if you are running a large scale concern, you will be receiving a lot of checks. Okay, at a regular interval you will be receiving a lot of checks. So all this check has to be presented in your bank. While you are presenting in a bank, the banker will be asked to fill the deposit slip. So for each and every check, if you are filling the deposit slip, means it will be very tedious process and it's very time consuming. So for this purposes there is an option deposit slip which is already available in the Tally Prime. Okay, so to go to deposit slip, I'll just tell you now. So in Tally Prime, click on banking and here is an option for deposit slip. Okay, select the bank. So here we have made a payment. Okay, we have received the payment from the customer. So if I want to have a deposit slip for this, just select this, go to print and give Control P and preview. So here is the deposit slip. Automatically it comes. So you can just enclose the check with this and you can submit to the bank. You need not fill any deposit slip in handwritten. Okay, so this is for check depositing. So where you have received from, what is the check number, check date, amount. So this is the banker's copy and this is the acknowledgement copy, that is your customer copy. Okay, once they receive it, the banker will be signing this and sealing this, and as an acknowledgement you will be receiving back this copy. This is the customer copy. Okay, so this is not only for the check deposit, also for cash deposit. I'll just show you. Go to voucher, just I'm giving cash deposit, credit cash of rupees 2000, debit bank account 500 rupees. Okay, so I'm done with the cash deposit entry. Then I'm going to banking, deposit slip, select the bank. So here is the entry. Just a minute. So here you will be finding all the check related entries only. So to go to cash, in right button bar you have an option cash. Shortcut key is F5. So here comes our transaction. Select this, print and Control P. Then you can see the printout. See, all the denomination also will be appearing over here. Okay, this is cash deposit slip or paying slip. Okay. So while you are depositing the cash, you can just take this copy and give to the banker for depositing of your cash. So under banking option, we have seen bank reconciliation, payment advice and deposit slip. Next topic we are going to see. Next topic we are moving on to check printing. So check printing option you can find in banking under utilities check printing. Before going to it, you have to configure the ledger. Okay, so just go to, you have to alter the bank ledger. Go to alter, choose the ledger, SBI bank account, and then you have to give all the bank account details over here and come to here bank configuration. Okay, set or alter range for checkbooks. Just give S here and give the details of the checkbook. So you can also maintain your checkbook here. Okay, so from number, this is the check number and 2. So totally there are 50 checks. Okay, checkbook name. After that, enable check printing. This has to be activated. After that, set or alter check printing configuration. This also should be activated. And then you'll be getting this screen. So usually if you are using a licensed version of Tally Prime, you will be getting all the check samples. Okay, all the bank check samples, but I am using only the education mode. So there is a sample format over here. So I am choosing that and give Control A for saving. You can also view the preview. So this is the way your check will get printed. Okay, so here is the account payee to whom we are going to make the payment, amount invoice, amount, date and the company name and the signature. So if you are dealing with a large scale concern, so writing each and every check will be a very tedious process and it takes many more time. Okay, so it's very easy when you use this check printing directly. So once you done with your voucher entry, you can directly take a check printing. Okay, so for check printing, just click on banking, choose check printing, select the bank. So this is the 2 payment we have already made. Select it and click on print. Again give Control P and check printing. This option should be yes and give Control A and you can preview your check. So this is the way your check get printed. So here the supplier name will be coming, the amount invoice, everything. Okay, so again if you give Control P, your check will get printed. Okay. And next is the, so check printing we have to see. So you can also go to banking check printing, or while you are making the payment also, while you are posting your entry also, after completing entry, if you give print also, it will directly move to you to the check printing option. Okay. Next topic we are going to see is check register. As I already told you, to alter the ledger of SBI bank, okay, not SBI, whatever the bank you are maintaining, you have to enter it and you can fill all the details of the checks here. Okay, so this one you have to check it out and you can post an entry over here, Mr. C. For example, 10,000 I am clearing. Here I can give the check number. So the first check I am using here. Okay, then I am accepting it. So here also you can give directly print for check printing. Then go to banking, check register. So here you can see unreconciled is 1 because using the 1 check out of the 50 check I have used 1 check, okay, for the 1 entry. So that's why it came to here. So balance available check is 49. So in this way you can maintain all the check here and you can see the details of the check in the check register. Okay, next is post-dated summary. Next topic we are going to see is the post-dated summary. So post-dated entry. So if you are receiving any check in the date not from the current year but in the post-dated, and if you are giving the check to your supplier also in the post-dated, means you can see all the post-dated list in the banking and post-dated summary. Okay. For example, in voucher, if you are making the payment to the supplier, for 1 lakh, okay, in the post dated, not in May, I am going to give in August. Okay. So from 1st August only he can able to clear the check. So here you can see the post dated option. Shortcut key is Control plus T. So once you click on it or you use the shortcut key Control plus T, the status will be post dated. So you can accept it. So all those transactions, whichever is post dated, you can find it over here in the post dated summary. Okay. You can click on banking and post dated summary. So you can select the bank account. Okay, so here you can see the issued post dated check. So with this you can find out what are the check we have issued. So on that day we have to maintain the balance of 1 lakh because on 1st August our supplier will be clearing those checks. Okay, so this is the post dated summary. So all this we have seen now related to banking, check printing, check register, post dated summary, deposit slip, payment advice and bank reconciliation. Next we are going to see the topic MIS reports. So Tally Prime provides you a lot of reports whichever is required for a company. Okay, so you don't need to generate any report. Once you started entering all your transactions, the reports are getting automatically generated at a time. Okay. So for viewing the reports from Gateway of Tally, you have an option for report. Under the reports, you have 4 reports which are the major report related to balance sheet, profit loss account, stock summary and ratio analysis. And the 5th one is display more reports. By clicking on display more reports, you'll be finding all the reports related to accounting, inventory, statutory and there are exception report. Okay. First, let's see balance sheet. So this is the balance sheet. If you want to view the balance sheet in detail, Alt F1 is the shortcut key. Okay. So in balance sheet, you have capital account, loans, liabilities, and asset side, you have fixed assets, current assets. So everything you'll be having, all the reports are automatically generated once you started entering your transactions. Okay. So here you have an option for auto column. Shortcut key is Alt N. So you can view the same balance sheet on daily basis, half-yearly basis, monthly or quarterly. See here, if I click on quarterly, it shows the report in quarterly basis. If I click on monthly basis, it shows in monthly basis report, with which you can compare between last month and this month. Okay. So you can able to make the comparison. Likewise, the column details are wide. 4-week, month, daily, fortnightly, half-yearly, monthly, quarterly, weekly and yearly. So like this you can view the balance sheet. And here also for each report you have an F12 configuration related to such report. Okay. So if you want to view in condensed view, means you can view condensed view. And it shows the percentage symbol. If you give S over here, it provides the percentage symbol automatically. So nothing you need to calculate, everything it calculates its own and it provides you the report. Okay. So all these features you can change according to your needs and necessities. Okay. So this is the balance sheet. So balance sheet views the liabilities and assets of the company. Then comes the profit and loss account, which also includes the trading account and profit and loss account, which shows you the gross loss here, okay, and net loss. Okay, so all the trading related activities and the indirect expenses, indirect income, everything appears over here. So this is the profit and loss account. So here also you have an auto column option. Shortcut key is Alt N, and you have basis of value option also. So there are many options available here, and change viewing option, vertical means vertical. So this is horizontal. If you want vertical means you can view the same report in the vertical format. So likewise you have having many options in the right button bar. You have also auto column option to view in half-yearly, monthly, quarterly, so whatever is required. Okay. So in July is empty because we haven't done any transaction in those months. So this is the profit and loss account. Next comes the stock summary. So stock summary, you can view all the closing current stock status. Okay. So here we have created only one stock. For example, if you want to view the opening balance, means you can give opening balance. So this is the F12 configuration. You can enable this and you can view what is the opening balance, what are the inwards in the period, and what is the outward and what is the closing balance. So currently we have 1280 numbers. each of rupee 540 and total value. So we can each time we can able to know the exact value of our stock through the stock summary. Next comes the ratio analysis. So it shows the details of current ratio, quick ratio, debt equity ratio, and GP percentage, net profit percentage. Okay, so those details related to ratio analysis it shows here. So for every report you have a change view option, auto column option, and configuration. Okay, you can change the F12 configuration related to such reports. So these are the basic reports available in Tally Prime, that is balance sheet, profit loss account, stock summary, and ratio analysis. Next, click on display more reports to view the trial balance. Okay, so this is the trial balance. You can also change the period over here to view the report for a particular period. Shortcut key is Alt plus F2. So this is the trial balance. Give Alt F1 to view the same in detail. Okay, and next comes the day book. Day book or those report where you can see all the transaction whatever you have entered. It can be inventory, it can be accounting or order management vouchers, everything you will be finding over here in the day book in date wise. Okay, for example, if you want to view the transaction on a particular date, means you can click on F2, change the date, and you can view what are the transaction on a particular date. Okay, next comes the cash flow report and the fund flow report. And you have accounts book. In accounts book you have cash book and bank book. Individually you can check the cash and bank account status. Then you have ledger. So each ledger, individual ledger balances you can check. For example, if you want to view the balances of Mr. C supplier, you can go and check the supplier ledger. Okay, so individual ledger you can view in accounts book. Then group summary, so related to the group. Then group vouchers. Okay, then coming to registers, you have separate contra register, payment register, receipt register, sales, purchase, journal, debit note, credit note. Okay, all the registers you have. So what are the transaction you do in payment vouchers? Everything will be coming in payment register. So month wise details you can view. Okay, so April month 2 payment vouchers you have done, May month 2 payment vouchers you have done, and in August month 1 more voucher you have done. So everything you can view on register wise. Okay, so you have voucher clarification related to forex transaction, related party transaction, verification of vouchers. So these are the registers, you can find it over here. And next comes the statement of accounts, all the outstanding details, receivables, payables. Okay, so what are the outstanding receivables, what are the outstanding payables, so what are the things we are yet to be paid to the supplier, everything you can see on receipt. This is the total receivables, this is total payables. Related to ledger wise receivables, payables, you can take the status over here. Okay, so if I want to view what are the amount yet to be received from the customer, means I can select in the ledger wise and take the report. Okay, and group wise details. So these are the outstanding details, and in statistics you can see in each type of voucher what are the number of transactions you have made. You will be getting here. Okay, so next coming, so these are all accounting. Next you have inventory. If you click on inventory books, you can see the stock item. So individual stock item details you can see. For example, I have chosen keyboard. So keyboard opening balance is 300. Then comes the inward, that is purchase. Then 2 sales. One sales made on April and another sales in the month of May. Now closing balances is 1280. Okay, so likewise you can view the individual stock item status. Then go down wise report, you can take it over here. So this is the go down wise report. So for each report, as I already told you, there is a F12 configuration. You can enable those features which is needed by you, and you can view those report. Then stock group summary. Then stock category wise details. So category wise details you can view. And comes the register related to inventory, that is delivery note, receipt note, rejection note, stock journal, and physical stock. So all those entries you have made in those inventory vouchers, you can see it in this register. Okay. Next is statement of inventory. You have stock query. So a stock query is the thing in single sheet you can find all the details of the particular stock. If you take keyboard, so in which group it is created, what is the closing balance, cost price, average cost price, what are the purchases we have made, what are the sales we have made, okay, and what is the closing value, what is the go down wise details. So everything you can view in detail. So stock query is very important report. You can find all the details in a single sheet. Then movement analysis. Okay, so how the goods are moved from one place to another, what are the, when it has been moved from which place to which place, so everything you can find it in the moving analysis. Then aging analysis, you can find it in the age wise. So it is the oldest stock we have, which is the new stock we have. Okay, so all the aging wise reports you can view it over here. Then cost estimation related to cost. Then stock outstanding, sales bill pending, purchase bill pending. So stock stock outstanding in the sense, if you have delivered the goods but you have not raised the sales bill, so such thing will be occurring in sales bill pending. If you have purchased the goods, if you have received the goods from your supplier but you have not raised the purchase bill, means those will be appearing in purchase bill pending. All this will come in statement of inventories. Then comes the GST reports. So GST related reports. Okay, so you will be about GST reports you will be learning in the next GST videos. Next comes the exceptional report. So ledgers whichever is without email IDs, optional vouchers, cancel vouchers, post dated vouchers. So here also you have an option to view the post dated vouchers. Okay, so here also, and also in banking. And then reports related to negative ledger, negative stock. So without having a stock balance, if you have made a sale entry, means it will come in negative stock. Likewise negative ledger also. So overdue receivables, overdue payables, everything you can find in the exception reports. So, and then analysis and verifications. So all these reports are available in Tally Prime. Okay. So instead of going to this, you can also use this go to option. Shortcut key is Ctrl G. So from here also you can directly go to this reports. No need for going to reports one by one. You can directly go to this. For example, I want to view the trial balance. I can just select the trial balance over here. I need not go to reports, display, trial balance like this. I can just click on go to and view the trial balance. For example, outstanding report I need. Ledger outstanding. See, at a stretch I can view the report. So it is very easy to view the report using this go to option. So it is very advantageous for the Tally Prime. Okay, so these are the reports available in Tally Prime. Next topic we are going to see is the data security. So data security is very important if you are running a concern and maintaining your accounts in your books. Okay, so data security, there are two types of password. One is Tally Vault password, which is a general password. You can create it and it will be used for commonly for all the persons, whoever is accessing your Tally in your company. That is the Tally Vault password. So I will tell you how to do the Tally Vault password. Just click on company and that is Tally Vault. Okay, so here you can set the password. I am setting as ABC. ABC. Okay, so now you can get this message. This will close all the open reports, vouchers and masters without saving changes you might have made. Are you sure you want to set Tally Vault password? Give yes. And do you want to create a copy of ABC Private Limited 10069? So once you're done with your password, you will be created with one more company, same ABC Private Limited. If you want to have yes, you can give yes, or no means no. Okay, so there will be one company without a password and another company with password. So here you can see the message, created new company 1007. So it asks for the password. I am giving the password. The company. So whenever you open the company, you will be asked to enter the Tally Vault password. Okay. So if you want to change the password, just go to company again, click on Tally Vault and the old password. Now ABCD I am giving new password ABCD. Okay. So now again the new company will be created with the new company. So whenever you change the password, new company will be created. If you give no for that, already the company will be, the password will be changed in the existing company itself. Okay, so this is the Tally Vault password. Next is, so this is one type of password I told you, which you can use this while you are, whenever you are opening the company in your system, you have to give the Tally Vault password. Usually Tally Vault password will be commonly known by all the persons in the accounts department. Okay, so it is a common password for all opening the company. Next is security control. So okay, I'll just tell you, for setting the security control, just go to company and go to alter. Okay, it goes to company alterations page. So security control means, in a organization you will be having accounts department. In accounts department you will be having many persons. One will be for manager, accounts manager will be there, senior accountant will be there, junior accountant will be there, data entry operator will be there. Okay, so each and every person have their own work. So depends upon their job they are doing, we can provide the access. Simple example, if you take data entry operator, he or she doesn't, there won't be need for any viewing of balance sheet at all. Their work is just for data entry purposes. They will be accounting all the bills. Okay, so for that purposes they can allocate separate user ID and password, and they can work only on those options. Okay, so for that purposes you can set a security. So here is a security option. So just give yes for this option, control user access to company data, and give enter. Here you have to first create the admin. Okay, so this is the admin user ID and password. So in the admin user ID password only you can create the user ID and password for other users. Okay, so here is a warning, forgetting your password will render your data inaccessible. So it is very mandatory to remember your password. So give accept. So once you accepted it, in company you'll be getting user management option. Okay, so here the option for change user, change password, users and password, user roles and password policies. Just go to users and password. So here you can set the user. So I'm going to tell you how to set the user and password for data entry operator. Just I'm giving AA. Okay, then end of list. So now I'm created a user ID password for data entry. So now we have security control for the owner, that is the admin. Okay, and I have also created through the admin login, I have created the security username and password for data entry operator. Then go to user roles. Okay, so we have to fix the roles. So here data entry, enter. So basic facility of data entry. So here days allowed for backdated version. If I give 2, so before 2 days they can't able to access any, they can't able to enter any data. So likewise you have many options over here. You can authenticate to the concerned users. Here this is the very important, this is disallow option and allow option. Okay, so this is disallow facility. So whatever which you want to disallow to them, you can disallow. See here, full access to trial balance. So disallowed means they can't able to view the trial balance. After coming back to here allow. I am allowing to create purchase. So this data entry operator only can create the purchase voucher, nothing else. Okay, I am saving this and also I am saving this. Again go to company. So we have seen users and password. Then user roles we have this fixed. Then password policy. Just give S. So once we have created the password for data entry, we will be providing the user ID and password. So they can able to change the password. You can fix the password strength over here. Okay, so you can if you want to have the expiry date for the password, means you can fix all the details related to passwords. So this is the password policy for company. So next is change password. If you want to change a password, means you can change the password here. Old password, new password, and confirm new password. Okay, and next is change user. So password policy we have seen, user roles we have seen, users and password we have seen, change password we have seen. Balance is change user. We are in admin password now. I am going to change the username to the data entry operator. Okay, so see here, you can see the data gateway of Tally. Here no reports can be viewed, only they can enter the voucher entries and create the masters. Okay, so likewise you can give the access related to their work nature. Okay, so this is the security user. Okay, that's it. Next topic we are going to see is purchase and sale order management. So what is order? Okay, if you want to purchase any goods, the first step you have to do in your Tally Prime is raising of orders. Okay, so once you raise your purchase order, against the purchase order, the supplier will be sending you the goods. So that whatever the goods you have received, you will be accounting in receipt note. Okay, so against the purchase order, so there is a process. Okay, so if you want to purchase a good, straight away you just you should not account directly to purchase. There is an order you have to follow. Okay, there is a step by step you have to follow in Tally Prime. First you have to raise a purchase order. Against the purchase order, the supplier will be sending you the goods. Okay, so you will be receiving the goods, that you have to enter it in receipt note for receiving of goods. Against the receipt note, if there is any return, you will be accounting in the rejection out voucher. Okay, then after that you will be confirmed with the receipt of the goods. Then the supplier will be raising a purchase invoice to you. You will be accounting in the purchase invoice. So against the purchase invoice will be accounted against the receipt note. Got it? Then against the purchase you will be making the payment. So this is the order you have to follow. So for each and everything there will be a tracking number. Okay, so let's see how to do the purchase and sale order management in Tally Prime. So I'm going to vouchers under transactions, click on other vouchers, double click on show inactive, and you have order voucher. Shortcut key for purchase order is Ctrl F9, shortcut key for sales order is Ctrl plus F8. So double click over it and give yes for activation. So you'll be getting the purchase order. See here, now I'm going to raise a purchase order to Mr. C. So here I'll be giving the order number PO001. So here purchase, I'm going to order keyboard of 5000 numbers. Okay, so it's a huge order, so I have created a purchase order now. So after that I'll be accounting in receipt note once I have received the order. So I'll be selecting Mr. C supplier. So here you will be entering the tracking number. Okay, so here against this order only we are receiving the goods now. So I'll be selecting this order. So what happens, see here. So here you have to give the receipt document number. Okay, like GRN number. Receipt note 001. So once I have given the order number here, automatically all the details will be get feeded in the thing automatically. Okay. So here receipt note number, then order number. So for PO001, that is the first this order, this is the receipt note number. Everything will have a tracking details. Okay, just accept this. So this is the receipt note. Against the receipt note we will be entering in the purchase. So here you have to select the receipt note number. Okay, so once you given the receipt note number, it automatically comes over here like this. So we have accounted the purchase invoice now. So against the purchase, we will be doing the payment. Okay. So this is how we will be. So this is the process you have to follow. Okay. So first you will be entering raising your purchase order. Against the purchase order, goods will be received by you, and that you will be recording in the receipt note. Against the receipt note, you will be accounting the purchase invoice. So for each thing you will be having a tracking number like PO001, receipt note RN001. Likewise, you can give the tracking number. So there will be a track for each and every transaction. There will be a tracking numbers. Okay, so there will be a track that against this invoice, this PO only you have received this goods. Okay, so for receiving this goods you are erasing this invoice. So against this invoice you are making the payment. So same procedure is for sale order also. Okay, so sale order. So just go to other vouchers and show inactive. Double click on sale order and activate it. So sale order. So when you will be raising the sale order, when you receive a purchase order from your customer, you will be raising a sale order in your books. Okay. Against the sale order, you will be delivering the goods in the delivery note, and you will be accounting in the delivery note. Then once the customer has confirmed the purchase of the goods, okay, then you will be raising a sale invoice. So against the sale invoice, finally you will be receiving the payment. Okay. So this is the sale and purchase order management. Next topic we are going to see is the batch wise accounting. Okay, so batch wise accounting. So some of the stock you are maintaining, you can maintain in some batches. For example, some stock will be of perishable items. Okay, so it will get spoiled in 2 to 3 days. So in such cases, if you stock it in batch wise, you can able to move those stock first, and later on you can move the stock whichever is not perishable within 1 or 2 days. Okay, so in such cases batch wise accounting is very important for those perishable goods of items. Okay, so let's see how to maintain the batch wise accounting in Tally Prime. So to enable batch wise accounting, click on F11 and select this enable batches to yes, and maintain expiry date for batches to yes. Okay, then save the screen. Okay, so you can alter the existing stock items. Okay, so here you will be finding an option maintain in batches. You can give yes over here, and if you want to feed all the manufacturing date, expiry date, you can give yes. Okay, then you will be finding an option. So here I can give batch 1. So see here, there are total 300 numbers. I am allocating 200 numbers in batch 1. Same go down, I am allocating 100 numbers in batch 2. So likewise you can allocate in batches. So you have to, once you have given S to this, you have to give the expiry date, the manufacturing date and expiry date also. Okay. So while making the sales, you can also select from which batch we can make the sales. So credit sales, customer A, save this, sales ledger, I'm selecting keyboard. So here I can give the batch. So go down 1. So for example, I'm going to clear 10 numbers from batch 1. So I will be choosing batch 1, 10 numbers. Okay. So usually, so just for example, I am giving keyboard as an option. So usually the perishable goods of items will be maintained in batch wise accounting. Okay, so this is the way you can find the batch. Also, after maintaining, you can see the report. So what are the stock available in which, so for example, in batch 1 you are having, batch 2 having, means batch 1 what are the stocks available, batch 2 what are the stocks available, everything you can view it. So to view the batch report, so from Gateway of Tally, click on display more reports, go to inventory books, and here batch. Select the thing and select the batch, so that in which batch, what are the status you can be able to know. So this is the batch 1, this is the batch 2 details, this is the primary batch. Okay. So in this way you can maintain the batch wise accounting. Next topic we are going to see is price list and price levels. So why you have to maintain price list and price levels? Okay. So while you are purchasing your goods, you will be purchasing from wholesalers and retailers, usually on the same prices. Okay. So you can fix a criteria. For example, if you purchase from wholesaler, they will be providing more discount. Okay, if you are purchasing more than 10,000 units, you will be having a discount. Okay, so such cases you can use the price levels in Tally Prime also. So let me explain you how to do. Just click on F11 to enable price list and price levels. So here you have an option under inventory, enable multiple price levels. Just give S. Okay. Then go to create. Here you will be having price levels. Okay, here you can create the price level, wholesale, retail. So there are two prices. You will be purchasing either in wholesale price or retail price. After creating the price level, you can create the price list. For example, wholesale price list. See here, price level, I have already created retail and wholesale. So I am selecting wholesale now and applicable from date. So keyboard, if I purchase less than 500, the rate will be 450. Okay, so let it be 600. If I purchase 500 numbers to 1000 numbers, the rate will be 580 with a discount of 2%. Okay, so if it is more than 1000 means I can get it at the rate of 550. So likewise you can fix the rate. So whenever you do the purchase entries, okay, you can just choose the price level. Automatically this price will be taken. Okay, so you need not calculate each and every time while you are making the purchase entries. Just give enter. So likewise you can also fix it for retail. Okay, so rate, discount, everything you can fix it. So after fixing it, if you are making the purchase entry, see here, party name. Before that, you have to choose the supplier and edit the supplier ledger and choose the party name, price level applicable, whether this party is a wholesaler or retailer, because we are fixing the price list for both retailer and wholesaler. If we select, if Mr. C is a wholesaler, means all the price list which we have fixed for wholesale rate will be applicable. Okay. So I am selecting keyboard, from go down 1, 30 numbers. See, automatically 450 amount has come. Okay, so depends upon the price level, it automatically the rate will be taken out from the price list which you have fixed. Okay, so this is the way you can fix the price list and price levels. Next topic we are going to see is the cost and profit centers management. So what is cost management? Simple. What is cost center? Cost center means, for example, in your company you will be having different branches throughout India. Okay, you will be having some Kolkata branch, some branches in Delhi and Gujarat. And so if you take South India, you'll be having some of the branches in Bangalore. Okay, so on the whole, you are handling a same business only, but you are having different branches. Okay, so each branch you can consider as a separate cost center, and you can find what are the costs incurred in the particular cost center, which means for a particular branch. Okay, so likewise you can allocate the cost center for the branches. Okay, and for the departments in the company. Okay, so for example, in a company you'll be having sales department, accounts department, HR department. Okay, so in each department, whatever the cost you do, you will be segregating the cost into such departments. So finally you can view the cost center report, in which you will be knowing which department incurs more cost. Okay, so this will be resulting in reducing the cost, earning of more profit. Okay, so that is the cost of profit centers management. So likewise, cost profit also can be allocated to the certain cost centers. So let's see how to do this in Tally Prime. For enabling the cost center, click on F11 features and select enable cost center over here and save the screen. So once you're done with this, you will be having an option for creation of cost center under accounting masters. So here you can create a cost center like Kolkata branch. Delhi branch. So here my cost center is the branch. Okay, then Gujarat branch. So here I have created the cost center. Now if I want to make a payment of rent, see here, rent of rupees 1 lakh. So before that you have to alter the ledger and you have to enable this feature, cost centers are applicable to yes. So once you enter the number and click enter, you will be having the cost center or allocation screen. So for Gujarat branch, so the 1 lakh of rent I can allocate to concerned cost centers. So 1 lakh for Gujarat it is 30,000 rent. For Kolkata it is 40,000 rent, and for Delhi it is 30,000. Okay. So likewise you can allocate the cost centers. You can also view the cost center report over here. Display more reports, statement of accounts, cost center breakup. For separate cost center, what are the total cost you can view. Okay, this is cost center summary. So like this you can, whatever the expenses you are doing, you can allocate to the concerned cost center. Finally, you can arrive with the report that which cost center incurs more expenses. So those expenses has to be reduced to earn more profit. Like that, the business decision can be easily found by using the cost center option. Next topic we are going to see is the budgets and control management. So the budget and forecasting is very important for a company. Before you start a business, you have to do some budgets. You have to prepare some budgets and allocate those budgets to the concerned expenses. Okay, so that it will be very useful for you in earning the profits. So how to create a budgets in Tally Prime? Let's see now. So click create and click on show more, and here you will be having budget under accounting masters. Select budget, and for example I am creating an expenses budget here. Okay, so for the period, so for 1 year I am creating a budget for groups indirect expenses. Okay, so indirect expenses, you can select the cost center, otherwise you can just leave the cost center, and types of budget on net transaction rupees 2 lakh. So let it be 5 lakh. So this means I have allocated 5 lakh for indirect expenses. Total indirect expenses I have allocated 5 lakh rupees. Okay, so for 1 year. Next is ledger. In indirect expenses, I am creating salary. So salaries should be 2 lakh. Okay, and you can also allocate for cost center if required. So here I have created for groups and ledgers budgets. Okay, see here I have allocated the salaries for 2 lakh. Just for example, here I have paid 1,20,000. Here the Delhi branch 40,000, Kolkata branch 50,000, and Gujarat branch 30,000. Here I have allocated the concerned cost center. So let's see how it will reflect in the budget. Okay, so we have already created the budget, and we have fixed the budget of salaries to be less than 2 lakhs for the financial year. Okay, just go to display more reports, trial balance, and in the right button bar you have budget variance. The shortcut key is F10, and you can select the budget. So here you can see the amount. Okay, if it goes beyond the budget, it will be in minus sign like this. Okay, if it is within the budget, it shows the balance in plus sign. I have already entered so many transactions, so it shows the minus sign. Okay, So this is how you have to fix the budget. So not only for salaries, for each and expenses you can fix the budget before you start the business transactions. Okay, so this is the budgets. Next topic we are going to see is backup and restore. So it's very important to back up your data on daily basis. Okay, because there will be always a threat there for the loss of data. So if the data has been lost, means it will be very difficult to retrieve, and it will be very difficult to redo again. Because if you are running a large scale business, there will be a vast transactions. Okay, so it is very necessary to back up your data. So let's see how to back up the data in Tally, right? So from the gateway of Tally, click on data backup. Here you have an option for backup. So backup destination path. So you can give the backup destination path where your backup file has to be saved. So better the backup data and the actual company path should be different. Okay. See here, our actual company path is in C drive and their backup data is in D drive. Here I am doing ABC Company Limited. Okay, so I am just backupping only this company and give end of the list. So the company is now got backup. So if you see in the path, you can find the backup data. Okay, so this is your Tally backup. So later on, you can also restore it by using the restoring option available over here. Data restore. Okay, so you can restore it back to the other companies. Okay, like that you can able to restore. Or if you want to take a backup and restore it in the other computer system also, you can do it. So this is the backing up of data. So not only one, you can back up n number of companies at a stretch. See here, I can select any number of companies at a stretch for backupping. Give end list and yes. So for those which you have password, it asks for a password while you are backupping the data. Now I am taking a backup for 4 companies. I am clicking on end of list. Yes. Okay. So now you can see all the 4 companies has now got backup. Okay. So this is how we are going to back up the data. So it's very mandatory to take a backup on daily basis. Next topic we are going to see is generating and printing of reports. So how to print the reports we are going to see. For example, if you are going to print the balance sheet, okay, just give Alt F1 for detail view, click on print, again Control P, and you can see the preview over here. So this is how your balance sheet will get printed. So like this you can print all the reports whichever is required. So before that you can give the detailed view of the reports. Okay. So print, Control P. Okay, this is how we are going to print the reports. Not only these reports, even the outstanding reports, everything can be given printout. For example, usually in a company they will be asking for the outstanding report in age wise. Okay, so for that purposes you can give the aging here. So aging method is there, no? So you can click on and take the aging report like 0 to 30 days, 30 to 60 days, like this. You can give the aging report like this. So this also you can take a printout. Same option only for printing any kind of reports. Control P is the shortcut keys. Okay, so this is how we are going to print the reports. Next is, you can also, instead of printing, you can also export to some other document. You have an export option here. So click on export, again Control E. Okay, go to configuration. So here you have file format. So here you have almost 6 format. So whatever the format you want to export the data, so you can export it in Excel, JPEG, PDF. Take PDF means now the P&L account has been exported to PDF. So for mailing your reports and all, this export option will be very useful. Okay. See here, the P&L is actually now exported. Likewise, the export option, one thing I would like to tell you. So here the export option file format are 6 type. Okay, that is ASCII, Excel, HTML, JPEG, PDF and XML. So if you want to export the data for the importing purposes, you would have exported the one data in one system and you will be re-importing into the other system. In such cases, if you are exporting the data for the importing purpose, means you have to export only in XML data interchange format. Okay, so then only it will get imported. So for import, you can select this option and import the masters and transactions. Okay. So hope I have covered all the topics in the Tally Prime. Hope you have learned. See you in the next session. Thank you.